things, I got appointed to this position about 2 years ago. And one of the things, I almost didn't take the job because when they offered it to me, I said, what is a community development authority? I really had no idea what a community development authority. And what I found by doing my Google search was that community development authority means lots of things to lots of people. It depends on the community because we belong basically to everybody in this room. And a community development authority is set up where we're separate from the government. We're a municipal corporation. We have really the ability to respond to community needs. So in some communities, they build all of the homeless housing. In some communities, they feed the homeless people. In some communities, they build all of the infrastructure. In some communities, they collect coats and canned food. I mean, it just really varies from community to community what a community development authority does. And in Anchorage, we've been involved in some development projects, which I'm going to share with you here in a minute. We're a municipal corporation, not to be considered with the municipal department. So we're wholly owned by the municipality, which means we're owned by everybody in this room because we're all taxpayers. We're self-supporting. So the assembly approves our budget, but we're self-supporting. So we have to generate our own income to pay all of our payroll and everything, just like any business owner in this room. We also have two departments, as I said, development, parking services. We're managed by the board of directors that I introduced you to. We're a board-managed authority. All right, so we have oversight from the 11 or 12 members of our board, and they're appointed based on their expertise. So, for example, we have someone who's an engineer. We have someone who's a project manager. We have someone who's a real estate attorney. We have a variety of very specific requirements for our board members that are set in charter and in code. And those positions are appointed in 3-year sort of rolling terms. And anybody in this room could be on our board of directors. They just have to apply. So if anybody wants to be on the ACDA board, you can apply for it. And as long as your skill set meets the open criteria, you could be appointed to the board of directors. And then you're appointed for a 3-year term, ratified by the assembly or confirmed by the assembly, and then you would help lead our organization and provide oversight. There's an executive director that's appointed by the mayor. As I said, assembly does provide oversight of what we do, and we're in sort of an unusual position in that we pay tax, just like a business. We pay MISA tax. So on the parking garages, on the revenue that we generate, we pay tax into the city every year, just like anybody else in the room here, which is kind of unusual. That's sort of one of the things that kind of sets us apart. And so that's one of the reasons it makes really good sense for a city to have a development authority, is because it has an opportunity to not only do great things, but also to help lower the tax cap by participating in paying taxes. Here are some of the projects that we've been involved with in the past. Of course, you're all familiar with the Denina Center. North Point Bluff is a development that was done up on Government Hill. And the Glen Square Mall, everybody, of course, drives by that every day when they come in on the Glen Highway. Some of our current development projects that we're involved with, I was talking about the Block 96 flats earlier today. I went over and took a tour, now that it has a roof and some stairs. It's quite exciting, 8-foot ceilings. I encourage everybody, if you haven't taken a look, you can drive by there and take a look at it. The 6th Avenue Hotel is going up on the front of the parking garage. We also have something we're working on for the Mount McKinley building on 4th Avenue, where we're going to convert it to workforce housing there. And then we have the Block 102 mixed-use development, mixed-use and the D Street redevelopment plan that we're working on in conjunction with other municipal departments, including the Heritage Land Bank. We have the Blue Mall conversion. You all probably saw the news story recently that Mark Bagich and his company purchased the Blue Mall. Going to be turning it into a grocery store and some other development, building some condos there. We participated in that. And then we have a facade program that we introduced, that we're getting ready to introduce the end of the month. And that is designed to help small business owners put new facades on the front of their businesses, help improve their look, and thereby help improve their revenue. And then some of the other things we're working on, we're part of a Brownfield Grant Coalition. Does everybody know what a Brownfield Grant is? No, probably not. I didn't either 2 years ago. But Brownfield grants basically help developers be able to ensure that They can go in and they study for environmental impact, and they help clean up environmental spills, those kinds of things. And those are grants that people in the community can apply for. We're part of a coalition that looks like we're going to receive about $1 million that we'll be able to grant out to the community, not ACDA, but we're participating in that through the planning department. The Midtown plan is something that we're working on. Midtown has never had a community plan like the downtown plan. You're all familiar with that. I assume most everybody's business here is downtown. Yeah? Anybody's business somewhere else? No? Okay. So Midtown's never had its own plan. We're working on that. We're also we've hired McKinley Research to do a housing incentive study. Everybody knows about the housing shortage that's happening here in the city. And we've commissioned McKinley Research to look around the entire country and try to find incentives and housing programs that are helping in communities like Anchorage, so that we can then bring some of those back and work with our assembly and work with our legislator to try to provide additional incentives to create more housing. And then, of course, we also are doing legislative advocacy. We introduced a bill in the state legislature this year to offer 100% tax abatements, or to increase our tax abatement from, it's a long story, but basically builders or developers can get 100% tax abatement, and also a blighted property tool, so that we can encourage people, or business owners, or excuse me, not business owners, people who own property that's blighted, to develop their property. By the way, there is copies of this presentation in the back. If anybody wants one, there you could grab one, and also copies of our annual report from last year if you'd like to pick one of those up as well. So those are some of the things that we have done. Looking to the future, we plan on continuing to develop partnerships. We're very focused on developing partnerships with other municipal departments. ACDA, it seems like ACDA had always kind of operated a little independent. And so we've made a really concerted effort here, our entire team has, to get out and get to know the other municipal departments. So if you want to build an apartment complex, you can come to Jim, and Jim knows who to call in planning to help you, who to call in building services, or who to call wherever you may be having trouble with the municipality. And so part of our job is to be a resource to the development community as well. Housing. We are hyper-focused on housing right now, as is everybody else. We're working with the Eklutna Corporation. They've got a large housing development out in Eagle River that they're working on that really is, we're talking thousands of units, and we're really focused on housing of all types, market rate, workforce, Section 8, whatever the need might be. We're very, very focused on housing. P3 partnerships, the building we talked about, Block 96, that some of you have seen going up at 8th and K, that's a P3 partnership. We've partnered with a private contractor, provided the land, provided some additional cash investment to help him get that over the top so that he could build that unit and be able to provide some much needed market rate housing downtown. We'll continue to do those as well. We're going to focus on underdeveloped areas over the next few years, which is trying to help areas like Fairview and Mountain View and East Anchorage to try to redevelop some of the areas and the infrastructure that they have, some of the housing, to try to help those areas become a more vibrant part of the city. And then, of course, one of the benefits of being a municipal corporation and not being a municipal department, while there's a lot of detriments to not being inside the muni, one of the things that we've focused on is we can be nimble, because we operated sort of this quasi-private public sort of space, right? Where we're not a municipal department, but we're part of the city. And so we're able to operate a little more nimbly sometimes than some of the other departments. And then being creative. One of the reasons that we hired a project development director was so that we could come up with new ideas and projects. At any one time, we've got 20 plus projects on the drawing table that we're analyzing to try to figure out. We've looked at all kinds of things since I've been here for 2 years, and all kinds of ideas. And just like a lot of my ideas, some were good and some were bad, but we were involved in a lot of different things. And so we're going to continue to do that. And the Anchorage Community Development Authority can play a very vital role in the development and redevelopment of our city. We have some challenges that we're facing, including economic growth, job growth, and our job is to try to help meet those challenges. Right now, it's evident that some of the challenges we have are our housing and infrastructure and redevelopment, and so we're focused on that rather than trying to focus on things that we think are important. We have to focus on what the community thinks is important in terms of development. And we will work to leverage our resources for partnerships, and our goal is to create a vibrant and resilient Anchorage for all residents. So over here, you'll see some displays of some of the projects that we're working on. Okay, I'm doing this for Melinda's benefit, you guys, okay? I'm really not a geek, but she wanted me to make sure I use the pointer. No, I'm just kidding. So this is just the areas of the facade program where that's going to be made available. And if you haven't heard about it, it's a low-interest loan program for businesses where they can redevelop the fronts of their businesses. And these are a couple of slides that just talk about that as well. And then this is a picture of the Block 96 flats that's going in, the hotel, the 3rd and East Street. The participation that we had in the Blue Mall and in that development is that without parking, there was no development possible because you have to have a place to park the customers that come to the grocery store and that live in the condos. And so we made a long-range arrangement with MASH so that they would be able to provide the parking that they needed to help their customers in that area. And then, of course, the Brownfield Coalition, the Block 102, this is an exciting project that we're working on with Heritage Land Bank, where we've arranged, we're facilitating a trade. The state owns this right now, and we've facilitated a trade between the state and the city, where we're trading some land off of Tudor next to the crime lab, so that we could redevelop this into housing and mixed use, as well as some condos over here on Block 102. So this is a very exciting project that we're real excited about.
Can you locate that again? D Street and
this is the Park Strip. This is 9th. This is 8th. This is D, and this is E.
It's basically the Atwood.
It's the Atwood building is like here, I think, or here. But yeah, it's further west. But here's another picture of it. You can get a perspective. Here's the JCPenney garage, the old Nordstrom's building, the mall, and this is the opposite end of that. Our goal here is, by putting together what we're calling the D Street plan, is that this is truly you hear a lot about making an area walkable so that people can enjoy it without, having to worry about getting hit by a car or being able to get out and enjoy things. And this is such a natural walkable area because it dead ends in a mall and it dead ends at the Park Strip. And so you can basically have events on the Park Strip and you can enjoy here, especially when we get this development done and we have some of the mixed use things going on with restaurant and whatever down there. So does anybody have any questions? We'd like to take everybody on a quick tour, if we could, of our facility, and just kind of show you guys around. Any questions about development or any of the stuff that I talked about?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Would
you me a favor for everybody's benefit? Would you just say your name and your business?
Sure.
Do you mind?
My name is Janice, and I own the K Street Market, which is a redevelopment project in what was a quieter corner of Anchorage. I did receive some municipal support with a tax abatement to open there. It was a marginal project, and it was a quieter part of the downtown area. And we have been much more successful than we ever dreamed of in terms of the number of people that come there. But the situation with Easy Park has become so bad, and I think most of the people that are here from small businesses are here specifically to talk about Easy Park. And so, and Leslie says maybe the best thing to do is to come to a board meeting, but I don't want to waste anyone's time. That's why we came, was
Sure.
to talk about the troubles that small businesses in the downtown district are having with parking.
So love to engage with you on that. Have no problem engaging with you on that, but I'd like to stick at least to get the tour done first, and then if we want to come back and engage on that and have a conversation, I'll be happy to talk about that.
It's okay if you don't want to talk about it.
Oh no, I don't mind talking about it.
It might not be the right forum, but I'm saying that's why people came. If it's not the right forum for that, they might want to leave.
Well,
that's why
you can leave if you want to. I mean, you're welcome to take the tour too, though. But yeah, this was really more about development today and not about Easy Park. But again, if you've got questions about Easy Park once we get done taking the tour, I have no problem. We can talk about that. And I mean, we're not going to solve anything today, but we certainly, if you guys have some concerns, we're certainly willing to put together an open house for Easy Park, and you guys can come in and we can address specific Easy Park issues and talk about those. And that would be a great time. It would be an excellent thing for us to do. I'd prefer to have my parking operations director here who's in Texas at a international parking symposium right now until Friday.
Yeah, I won't meet with Jeff.
That's okay. Well, you're going to meet with me tomorrow, right?
Never, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Never happened.
So we'll meet and talk tomorrow and try to help. And then I'd also like to we have a new customer relations manager who's here, and was out sick today, and so I would like to have the conversation with those people about Easy Park so that we can, because I'm the executive director and sometimes I don't know everything. So
This will never work until you control Easy Park. They're destroying the downtown. People don't even want to come downtown.
Well,
none of this is going to work.
Well, I appreciate that, John. I appreciate your sentiment. Some of it is working now. There's a lot of really good positive things that are working downtown. And I understand how you feel. We have some real specific issues and be glad to talk through those with you. But I don't agree with you that a lot of these things will work. And an Easy Park isn't the whole problem with downtown. I understand that you're having issues with us. But again, it's I think that Easy Park, I think that ACDA is working really hard to develop downtown and to turn some things around. And if we're having specific issues with Easy Park, generally speaking, those are operational issues so that we can fix those kinds of things. And we're willing to do that. So.
Hi, I'm Leslie Wright on the board. I just was going to say too, we'd love to have you come to the board meeting,
Yeah.
operations meeting, because we're not all here. There's only like 3 of
Yeah.
us.
And you
here
can
today.
talk to our board
So you don't
and
have the whole board's ear.
Yeah.
And so we'd love to have you come to the public. Every meeting has a public hearing. We
Yeah.
definitely. But we haven't had any. That doesn't mean you're not talking to these guys for sure. But the board hasn't, had you guys come present.
and we have 3 opportunities a month for the board, for the public to participate
Yeah.
in our meetings. We have an operations meeting, which is a great meeting for somebody who wants to talk about Easy Park to come to. And we have a finance meeting, a development meeting, and we also have a board of directors meeting. And the public is invited to all of those. And those are available via Zoom.
I can't
So-
meet with Jeffrey Reed.
That's fine. That's
There's
why.
no way.
Right. Well, you're coming to talk to me
That man's called me
tomorrow.
a liar multiple times.
Well, I
And then I want to add too, for those that want to keep track of those meetings, we do have that calendar posted on our ACDA website.
Right, until now, I wasn't sure what the avenues were
Yeah.
in order to talk about.
Yeah, we've always had those committees and they've always had a public
Sure,
portion of
but
the
as a
time.
downtown business owner,
Yeah.
I thought this was the avenue that I might be able to talk about
Got
some of
it.
the issues that we
Yeah.
have, but it doesn't appear that that's really what this meeting is about, so now what you're saying is I should attend the operational meeting.
Or
actually, if we have an issue, I'll have an open house for Easy Park, and
Yeah.
we'll specifically address these issues.
and we've done
Well,
that
that's
too.
what I
Yeah.
thought this was, so I was just.
Yeah. I'm
and
sorry,
we-
it's-
and like Mike mentioned, we have done special meetings where we just brought in the business owners in downtown and talked about
Let's do that.
parking
That would
concerns.
be-
I think the board would appreciate.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll,
I don't speak for them all.
I think
This
it would be a
board member
great
would-
idea to do that. If we've got some frustrated people, then our job is to not frustrate you. So we'd like to hear what that is, and sometimes we can solve problems, sometimes we can't, but we can at least try to do that. So,
Absolutely.
so we'll do an Easy Park. We'll have an Easy Park open house in the next 4 weeks or so, and that'll give you some time too for us to get the word out to other business owners, and we'll set that up, and we'll do something on an afternoon, maybe like today and 4 o'clock. Is 4 o'clock a good time? If we were going to do something like that, you guys should think, as business owners, is that a good time for us to do that? Yeah. Okay.
Mike, Skeller here.
So where did you say these board meetings are listed? I'm looking on the
Oh, if you go to
ACDA main website.
So if you go to the About, there's a board section. It's sometimes hard to view it on the mobile.
We might want to do the parking lot via Zoom as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we could do it.
And
Yeah,
thank
for
you.
sure.
Barbara also reminded, but I think.
Mr. Cross, and I'd like to introduce Kevin Cross, another assembly person. Kevin is also on our board of directors. So.
I never would have for calendar.
And we're also listed on the Muni website too, you guys. So you can look us up, and our those meetings are listed. I think the meetings are they listed for the rest of the year, so you can see when those meetings are the rest of the year. So if you'd like to come, you're more than welcome to.
And that mixes between finance, parking.
So what I'd like to do is
Appreciate it.
anybody who wants to, we'd love to show you around. We're going to take you up front, show you Easy Park. Some of you may be familiar with Easy Park's area. And then I want to take you guys out to the maintenance shop and show you guys around. Let Philip tell you a little bit about what we do and how we do things, and then we'll just come back in here and we can chat. And if anybody has any issues about, I'll be glad to sit around and talk for, I get paid to do this, so I'll stay here as long as you guys need to talk.
Any outstanding tickets you can pay while you're here? Speaking from personal experience.
Actually, yeah, I only had.
Okay, Melinda is going to lead our
I'm gonna lead you
tour.
guys, if you
So-
wanna join me, we're gonna
Anybody who'd like
I've been
to
here.
come on our tour?
try and make
You can
this.
tour yourself to the food, Kevin.
I only ever see
Right,
like.
Mike, can you use after 5 o'clock or 3? Is it
Yeah.
after 5?
Yeah, beer here is
I
after
don't wanna give you
5.
wrong information.
I only had 28 minutes worth of points.
Oh, meters is after 6.
Oh, it's after 6?
Yeah, it's after
Okay,
6.
I got it
I
wrong.
better.
Anytime you come to visit us, park in the garage, we validate. So we'll validate that way. It doesn't matter how long you're here for. We can. I don't know. Does anybody want to go on the tour?
No, not really.
No.
DOT.
An option, I think it's just a frustration. Only work from like the time I got into law.
No, Kevin's waving
Big
goodbye.
job, running in, changing money.
They don't know.
I think you were going to go on the tour, Barbara, right? Okay, then Melinda will feel so much better.
Yeah, because everybody's in there, so it slows the coldness down. So this is our dispatch center, and we
Chilly.
see all the garages. It's because we're all in there. All the garages. We see the entrances, the exits, the stairwells. We see the Chinook parking lot. We just activated some cameras for our bus transit area because we just have the bus drivers in there right now, utilizing the space. This is a new camera that is activated when somebody moves. So it catches their attention quickly, so they're constantly looking at us.
Oh, yeah, got it, yeah.
So it takes one of these where there's motion and
Yes.
moves the image
Yeah.
down.
So
Okay.
hi everyone.
Hi.
So this is our call center. We do a dispatch center 24/7. So we have our staff do it up till about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and we flip it, and our security does it. But it's 24/7.
Okay, you're at the
We
C Street
watch
exit,
all of our
first
garages,
lane,
our stairwells, our
enforcement
lot.
officer right away, okay?
We just activated for the bus drivers. I pulled my tenant in there for the bus drivers to have a space there, so that's been activated for them.
Dispatch,
And then I was explaining, we have a special camera that we're testing right now that it flips when somebody moves in there. So it grabs their attention.
Charlie
Because
1
sometimes you
exit,
can't see everything, but this will
customer said
activate
somebody
them to
left
see
a
that somebody's
card.
in there.
at the exit.
Yeah. So we always have interesting situations. Today, every day is an interesting situation. So today, somebody came into our Fifth Avenue garage, first level, 4th Avenue side, a woman, and started spraying all of our cameras. Now, she wasn't that bright because when she exited, she used her credit card. So we have her
Hilarious.
So we have her information, and of course, we're going to bill her for all the camera damage. But this is a continual thing, and you'll probably hear me say this a lot, and Philip will be talking about as well, is that we're very concerned about security, safety of all of our customers. And one of the things that we did because of our cameras, this has helped us lower our cost. So that we can prevent. So we're always looking at prevention versus reaction for our customers. So,
Yeah.
So we're watching. We're watching you. Come on. And our security does use this space as well. So we have very close working relationships with all of our contractors, actually. So we're going down here. This is our development side. My office was right over there. This is the front lobby, as you all know, and this is now, we're venturing into, we've got some working offices and conference rooms and everything. We actually have 3 conference rooms. We are busy a lot with people. We try to make our staff stuff fun. So today we have 26 staff working for us. Prior to COVID, we actually had 47. So we've really worked on modifying and making us a more productive workforce for a lot of different reasons, and you'll probably hear Philip talk about that too as well. Hey Philip, that's Philip. my
You know,
facility
just so you
manager.
know, this is an assembly work session, so I'm recording it. I just wanted
sure.
to, everybody else knows that, but I
We're
wanted
our
to make
best
sure you
behavior.
knew that.
This was the finance department. That's Jim's office. he got over here. And now we're venturing into Easy Park. And this is more of the administrative. So we've got Rod Yap, who's the operations lead, who will probably be in your next meeting for parking. You had some parking concerns. And so again, because we've reduced, this all used to be full of people. We no longer have that. So this department now has become customer relations. We've moved all of our staff. We have our 3 staff only up here. And we have our parking director, and we have our Kat Monty, who's our new customer relations manager. There they are, hi girls. So everybody comes here, and that's who you'd be talking to, Teresa Loida, and Gwen, who was just, so both that department, we cross-trained them to make us more efficient. So the customer relations department now does call center too as well. So we work it all around our schedules. Yeah. So Philip, I think we'll go through here.
Go through here, yeah. Sure.
So we have, this is a big maze going through here. Just so you know, this door right here, there's 3 agencies that have access to it, right?
Yep.
Easy Park, Axiom, and Axiom is the contractor that goes around collecting the meter money, but also picks up our cash handling and takes it to the bank. And then we have, who else goes through here?
Just my department.
Oh, yeah.
My department, Rod's, and then
Yeah,
Axiom.
so there's limited access for everybody, but there's cameras fully in there for all the cash handling that we do. So everybody's, we watch the public, we watch ourselves.
And Easy Park is like a nationwide
No.
thing, or
So Easy Park, there's a name, and it's an international name. So, and a lot of different agencies.
so why ask? Because I usually ask, why does it say I can either sign in for 19 here or in Pittsburgh? It's giving me this option
So
with the app.
we've signed up for what's called Pay by Phone. Is that correct? So Pay by Phone actually does parking.
Oh, they're the ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
I wish it didn't say Pittsburgh.
We-
Because I've accidentally clicked on it, and I think maybe I got a ticket because I was clicking on the wrong 5919.
It was a bit of a contention that we've had with Pay by Phone. So we have that code that you're talking about, 5919.
Yeah.
And so we discovered that Pay by Phone gave that code to the city of Philadelphia as well after we had had it for 3 years. They've refused to change it off, and it's a big contention, and my parking director is looking into it.
Because it's the number one that comes up. It comes
Right,
up.
right.
That's another
Yep.
frustrating point.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we understand you're frustrated. We're equally frustrated.
Okay.
I'm gonna guide you guys. I'm gonna walk with you guys.
Sure, you are neck of the woods.
So this is our Fifth Avenue garage, and the building itself, this project history was built around the creation of the Anchorage Parking Authority in 1984 with bonds. And that's why we were created initially. Anchorage Parking Authority under Tony Knowles said, we need a bonding authority. I want a parking garage that can support the Fifth Avenue Mall. And at the time, the voters said, you can't build a garage, so Tony Knowles said, fine, I'll create a bonding authority. So he created the parking authority. And we bonded this garage to be built for people back in 1984, along with some other garages. And this is my guys. I say my guys. Philip?
This is our world.
Come on in, because your world.
This
You're
is our
into
world,
making
yeah.
shops. This is it for you.
This is a neat shop.
This is one of 2 shops we have. We keep all of our big equipment, everything over at 7th Avenue basement. Yeah, I just wrote down a few things that I wanted to share with you guys. We're a crew of 4, including myself. We manage 1,300 on-street parking meters right now. Might be more down the road, but that's where we're at right now. We have 12 service lots with 750 parking spaces, and that equivalents to 250,000 square feet of surface lot area. We have 4 parking garages, over 3,000 parking spaces in total there, and those are over 1 million square feet in area there. The maintenance department deals with all the plumbing, all the electrical, vandalism, sheetrock, all stuff like that. HVAC systems, as you saw, the garage gate equipment. We have fire suppression systems, which, fire pole stations, sprinklers, stuff like that. We do asphalt repair, concrete painting, striping of the parking stalls, snow removal around all of our facility sidewalks. We throw de-icer and everything on there, so we want everyone to be safe. We have 144 cameras throughout our facilities. We're adding more. It seems like it's a never-ending addition to our.
It's always built in our budget.
We want everybody to feel safe as they can. Thousands of feet of conduit, Cat 6 cable ran for those. We did an LED lighting upgrade, which has cut our utility usage, our electric usage by 30%. And did you want to say something about
Yeah, so that project actually was used as a case study for the expansion of the CPACE program that the city and the state have taken on. Basically, RIM Architects was the first one that took advantage of what they call CPACE, and it's basically low funding money to upgrade all of their building. And that was an existing building at the time. They took our case, and because we had such a big savings, the state elected to expand CPACE, and now it's called CPACER. And now they've incorporated all new development. So it's for new development and old development, and it helps close the gap of cost to build. And I've got CPACER flyer information out front lobby if you're interested. We work really closely with the gal over at Finance, Melanie, who runs the 49th State Angel Fund program. So she's heading up the CPACER program, for the city.
Nice. A few more things. We do lock our stairwells now at night. We've noticed since we've been doing that, it's cut back a lot on our security needs, our vandalism with graffiti. So our security, our maintenance issues,
Janitorial costs have gone down.
Janitorial, yeah. So we can use that money to fund other projects or the maintenance department strives to do all work in-house instead of contracting, so we can save money for facility improvements and major capital projects for improvements on the
and Philip, what's one new big capital project that you're really focused on? I know
now,
you've got a couple, but
our main focus right now is the 7th Avenue stairwells on the H Street and the G Street side. We want to completely gut them and just
so they all have
new
to be
stairwells.
pulled out through the roof?
We're not going to do that now.
You're not going to do that now?
They're going to cut them up.
So they're going to basically gut all the stairwells and put new stairwells in. And I don't know if you've been in that's the shorter garage closer to ConocoPhillips. If you notice that there's some rust and holing and everything, that was actually the first parking garage.
It's old.
Yeah, first parking garage in downtown. Was it in the 50s originally?
60s.
In the 60s. So it could have been around the same time as JCPenney's.
Yep.
Hi, Chris. Chris is one of also our certified welder.
Yeah, he's our welder.
So that is one of our oldest, and it is a very popular garage, both for the ConocoPhillips and the city staff that park there mostly. Philip, should we go through the entire area space, or just is this good?
This is probably good.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. So the guys do all their indoor work here, and they do it outside too as well. Anything else we're missing on? And then they take some of the work. Our other shop is 7th Avenue basement.
Yeah, we got a booth. We got a paint booth over there. We got a powder coating machine. So we take like the meter bodies off. We'll get them sandblasted and everything, and then repowder coat them and stuff like that.
So snow plowing is on my mind after last winter. So do you have your own plows?
We have our own plows, but we contract all of our lots and all of our service lots. We contract.
Gotcha. So then our guys do you guys do the rooftop though?
We do the park areas, and then we do the sidewalks around there. We have a Kubota tractor that we use.
So you'll usually see our guys on the sidewalk before Intershop partnership.
Yep.
So they're quickly going at all of our garages because we always, we're focused on safety, slip and falls, liability. So they're quickly doing their thing before anybody comes into downtown. Especially, we're looking at that 7 o'clock hour. 7 a.m. hour is critical. And if we have an early storm warning, the guys are usually showing up earlier to get that stuff removed quickly.
Try to get it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, great. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And one of the other things that we recently did too is that 2 years ago or a year ago, we had OSHA come in. A lot of people freak when they hear OSHA, but we saw them as being a kind of a helper for us and giving us suggestions. So they came in and evaluated how we're doing things, and we got big A+. One of the things that we added for our guys is an eye wash machine that we did not have in there, and I think that's it. All of our people, including myself, we are CPR certified because we have to deal with the public downtown. So a lot of our staff have had to do CPR and some other things downtown. And the other thing, we've got a resuscitating machine in a lot of locations in case we have to do resuscitation on people. I've got tenants I'm managing in this space. I don't know if you noticed that. So we've got the Trooper Museum next door to us. I've got a photography studio, Midnight Sun Cafe, very popular. It's one of the few cafes that are open Saturday and Sunday for breakfast. So they're super busy right now. And then we've got the Ukraine group on the C Street side that used to be the school district. And I've got an empty tenant space, so if you guys have a particular tenant, I'm looking for a new tenant to come in. Why don't you come on this way? This is our lunchroom, and it's a heavily used space. My guys, the big thing is Domino's. They do Domino's every day, and we do a lot of coffee, and we do a lot of times where if it's cold outside, we're bringing soup and we feed our people a lot. Yeah. Come on in. All right.
So then Diamond Property.
Thank you guys for the tour. All right, thank you. Tour.
Hey, right on.
You struck in what? You got it?
You're good. I'm
Okay,
gonna
thank
turn it
you.
off.